Hi gschool, my name is Eric Steens. Your too long didn't listen for this is I'm an activist that wants to use code to build tools that will change the world. I want to start by telling you about a book I read about 2 years ago. It's a pretty sweet book called House of Tomorrow. It's about Buckminster Fuller, geodesic domes, punk rock, falling in love. But that's not really why I'm telling you about it. Why I'm telling you about it is because it was written by a good friend of mine. And after it got published, I got really, really jealous. And I'm not usually a jealous person. And I kind of sat with that for a while. And I figured out I was jealous because I really wanted a medium in my life that I had a strong sense of mastery over, that I could use to kind of create shit and bring amazing stuff from my head into the world. And for a variety of reasons, I decided that medium is going to be code. So that's kind of why I'm here in a nutshell. I'm taking a bit of a roundabout path to get here. I'm trained as a social worker and community organizer. Once upon a time, I was a theater major. For the better part of the last decade, I have worked in racial justice nonprofits, doing research around racial disparities and land use policy, and doing some GIS mapping, that sort of thing. I also, after grad school, I lived and worked in inner city St. Louis for a few years in a community center. Also taught in a STEM program there, after school Saturday STEM program. You ask what I would be doing if I wasn't coding. I would most certainly be teaching. I'll probably be teaching at some point, even if I am coding. I love facilitating learning. I love alternative pedagogies. I love learner-centered learning, moving away from kind of the way that we've done education for the past 50 years in this country. We can talk about that more later if you're interested, but teaching is certainly it. I do run a web design company now, but I don't really identify as a coder. I know a little bit of PHP and that's it. I do know HTML and CSS. I do use Git poorly. I do use the command line every day. I understand the AMP stack. But most of what I'm doing is talking to people and small nonprofits, kind of figuring out what their problems are, and usually their technological needs are really, really modest. So maybe they're still hiring someone to come in and keep their events calendar up to date, and they think they need to know code to do it. So we can build them a pretty modest WordPress site and train someone on their staff in an hour or two on how to keep it up to date, or maybe they need to send out email blasts or need to kind of reconfigure their database that they're using to keep track of their constituents or their campaigns, or so not really pushing the boundary technologically. It's rewarding in the sense of moving people down the kind of path, and showing them that they don't have to be scared of these tools. But what I really want to be doing is coding. What I really want to be doing is making stuff. I have a lot of stuff in mind. It all relates around social problems and affecting marginalized communities, and offering people more decision-making power. Happy to talk about that more as well. Some of what I'm interested in is community building tools. I think for a long time, the amazing thing about the internet was that we could build communities that weren't constrained by geography. Now I think one of the challenges is how can we use this technology to build stronger social ties and different decision-making processes kind of in the communities that we're living in. I'm really interested in feedback from a social science perspective, system science perspective. So I'm interested in individual feedback, data visualization, larger scale feedback. Um, Basically, want to build stuff that is going to affect the most marginalized communities in important ways. Mobile's already bridging the digital divide. I have to finish up here. So I'm interested in what we can build off of mobile and build off of that strength of mobile. Yeah, so ask me more about it. Let's talk about it. I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for listening.